This podcast is sponsored by Great White Hot Sauce. It's a small batch, handmade hot sauce made especially for you. You can find it at www.trygreatwhite.com. It's also sponsored by South Florida Allied Health, located in Boca Raton, Florida, specializing in men's health, women's health, medical weight loss, IV therapy infusion, testosterone therapy, and hormone replacement therapy. Florida residents only. Well, here we are, episode 102. On our way to 200. We'll get there, no doubt about it. Well, on this episode, no Jack. Go figure that. At least he's consistent. You know who else is consistent? The Wrecking Two, Mark Smith and Lou Calicchio from the Relish Podcast. I don't even think this is a residency anymore. As we say in the military, they're permanent party. I don't think they're going away. But that's okay. I like them, so they get to stay. Yeah, so we're talking about Did You Knows, fun facts, maybe some fun stories. It's an easy show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
The KOFB studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast hosted by Scott McLean. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction. Welcome to the podcast. You know the name, so I'm not going to say it. We're streaming live right now over 2 pages on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, DLive, the Tweedledum. Yeah, all these live streaming places. But it's all about the podcast. It's all a means to an end. So here we are, episode 102. And like I said in my intro, no Jack. He had, poor little Jackie had a pollen attack today. He was congested. And his eyes were itchy, and he was all stuffy, and he wasn't feeling good, so he can't make the podcast. This guy is soft as a wet sponge. Telling you. You know who wouldn't be? You know who battles through it? Mark Smith from the Relish. Oh, Jesus.
Don't pick on him. He's got allergies. I know how he feels.
As for the podcast listeners, we opened up and Mark Smith had a tissue stuffed up his nose. But he's here. He's doing it.
I'm here.
He's doing it.
How you doing?
Good. You know who's not here? Lou.
Yet.
Lou's not here yet. Second week in a row. That Lou's intro, right? Lou's original song.
Sounds really good. It sounds good.
Great song. I did a little thing now at the end. I'll talk through it as it fades out, right?
Cool.
Get as much on there until I hear the first click. I like when those sticks hit.
Yeah.
Click. So, and again, just like last week, he misses the beginning of the show. He's got a little bit of Jack in him.
Technical issues. It's beyond his control.
He's got a little bit of Jack in him. Well, so do you.
The guitar's packed away. I
can't escape you fucking guys. I can't escape.
You get the picture when everyone around you
is like Jack. Yeah. I get.
I tell Tom all the time, when everyone around you annoys you,
maybe it's you.
Look in the mirror.
Well, that's the saying. It's funny you said that. I was talking to Jack about that today, and when he was like, "I don't feel good. I don't think I can make it. I think the pollen attacked me," and that's exactly how he did it. By the way, yeah. No. There's the old saying: if you call 5 people an asshole in a day, you might be the asshole.
Well, New Jersey has different rules.
Or if you're at a meeting and you're looking around a table for the asshole and you can't find him, maybe you're the asshole.
Get out the mirror.
There you go. But Jack's not an asshole.
Absolutely
most of the time.
Stop picking on him.
Well,
He needs to be here.
Well, hey, listen, that's all on him. But he did sound like shit. And although it would have been fun fodder and easy content, easy pickings for me, he elected to not show up tonight. And we'll see him next week. But so this episode we're doing some, as I used to do on my solo shows. Yeah, and the solo shows came about from Jack no-showing at the last minute. He became really good at that. Got a meeting. I get the text. It's like we used to go on at 8, and we'd be going, and I'd get a text at like 7:47. Won't make it. So
Wait,
scramble.
Can you hold on? I have to do a little zoom here.
Jesus. You're a good fill-in for him. Yeah.
But I don't
but you know what? You're in the penalty box, 30 seconds. See? I could do it because I could do a one-on-one. I could do a solo show. At this point, after 101 episodes, it's pretty easy to do a solo episode. The first time I did it, it was nerve-wracking. It was fucking terrifying because I put myself in the position of doing these things live. 3, 2, 1. Okay, he's back. So
I'm so sad. Is this gonna be another one of those nights?
You're a record breaker, buddy. You're breaking records. You already hold the record for most penalty box minutes served in one episode.
Hey, PK Subban got to start on the Montreal Canadiens.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So I used to do these when I would do a solo show. These Did You Knows? They're always fun. And so I figured we haven't done them in a while, and it doesn't look like I'll be doing a solo show for a while, which is fine with me. Which is absolutely fine with me. I mean, the odds of you, Lou, and Jack all not being available, that means you're on strike. Basically what that would mean. You're on strike.
We don't have Jack's number. So
holding out. Oh, don't give me that. Holding out for more money from the KOFB studio. Yeah, I know.
Some hot sauce. Jack's right. Can we have some hot sauce?
Can have some hot sauce. Maybe. So why don't we kick this off? I have an interesting did you know?
Okay.
Did you know that it was a concert in Minneapolis in 1954 that Al Dvorin, do you know who Al Dvorin is?
No.
That Al Dvorin closed Elvis's concerts with, "Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night." I do that pretty good.
Yeah, you do.
I do that. I might have a career here.
You might have a copyright claim on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, they got me. YouTube got me. They got me last week. So yeah. It was a concert in of all places, Minneapolis, in 1954. Wonder what how he just decided to do that. You know what I mean? I got to come up with something cool.
Do you think he was kind of influenced by James Brown, the way he did everything? Kind of like the Masters here, right? So James Brown had the big entrance, the cape, and he said, I got to do something like that with Elvis.
Well, James Brown's exits were epic.
Yeah.
Where he would throw it off. What was his sidekick's name? What was his...
Oh, I can't remember.
I forget his name. He would run out with the cape and he'd walk him and he'd throw the cape off and run back to the microphone and go again. And I mean, James is James, right? So yeah. Elvis, that's a good point. Maybe Elvis needed something, some sort of tagline or some sort of, thing to end his show as a standout. Because now it actually, nobody could ever do that. If they do, they're doing it. They're paying a homage to the Elvis, right?
Yeah.
But you don't hear anybody doing that,
right?
You don't hear it. So it worked, and it was his thing for the rest of his career. I wonder if it was also prompted by the venue, like they just wanted people to leave, thinking that maybe he's going to come back out, or yeah, so they're like, you got to get these people the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I don't care how you do it, but just do it.
Oh, that sucks. When I saw Dream Theater with my son, the show's over. We're in the tier. I hate that when they do that. I know they got a job to do, but We're standing there. I love to watch them pack up that stage in record time.
Right.
That was just full of lights, platforms. It was another world. Then the house lights come on, and it's just this wooden stage. But you'll watch for 5 minutes, like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, because that dude wants to go home.
Yeah, they got to clean, you know.
Yeah. He wants to go home. I got another one.
Yeah. This day in the music? No.
Nope. Did you know at the first Grammy Awards ever held on May 4th, 1959, Domenico Modugno beat out Frank Sinatra and Peggy Lee for Record of the Year. You know what the song was?
What?
Volare. Oh.
Nah, you and Lou would know that. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Volare. Oh. Yeah.
First Grammys. That was pretty good. Another copyright claim.
Yeah. YouTube's gotten it out for me. It's like Facebook. That's why I have 2 Facebook pages, and I keep them both pretty active. I bounce back and forth to fuck with the algorithm. So if they catch me on one account, I just bounce over to the other one.
Scott McLean, the algorithm fucker.
The algorithm fucker. Oh, Jesus. That could be a song from Rage Against the Cafe.
That's right.
So evidently there will be a that Rage Against the Cafe might actually come to fruition and start making some music.
Yeah, I was informed of that by the bot.
The AI. The AI, Perry Denovich.
It's going to be AI music.
Yeah, he said, he's got it figured out, I think. So you guys do the real fucking instruments, and I come in with, we kind of add some spice into it. Kind of
you did some kind of what was that? It was very atmospheric. You were playing around with music one time.
I made some beats and just kind of threw them out there to you guys. Yeah,
it sounded good. That's creativity. I mean,
absolutely. I have no problem. Yeah, I have no problem with doing that. That to me is you're creating music. Not everybody can pick out tunes and tones. Because you're looking, number one, when you are creating electronic music, you're looking at literally hundreds of different samples from just one instrument.
Yeah.
So to be able to pick those out and then go to the next instrument, pick out how this is going to match, it's creating a song. It's creating music.
Right.
And it's not just like this one goes here, this one goes here. Building blocks. No, and then you have to start building the background and the fills and all that stuff. And I learned all that on my own. Like, I didn't know anything about this shit. I know what I hear.
Look, that's the best way to learn anything. I didn't get taught to play guitar. I learned myself.
Yeah.
And I probably broke every rule. I don't give a shit, play what I like.
And when you're putting the beats together, like I said, I know what I hear and I know what I think sounds good. And I have a good sense of rhythm. So I know that it works. It's just not, it doesn't matter if somebody else likes it or not if you're just doing it. I'm not trying to sell them or make money off them. That's when you just screw yourself.
Well, we talked about this on our show, Music Relish. We're doing the DIY talk about recording at home because Perry and Lou have a lot of music they recorded. I was just the guy that played on a couple songs. And I kind of said at the end, Perry was lamenting how nobody plays together in a room anymore. And it's true. I mean, it's great. But I also said that what we were talking about doing, like with the Rage Against the Cafe, is with this electronic recording, the fact that we could email it or Dropbox it to each of us, it does create, me and Perry and Lou could never collaborate on a song if we didn't have this way of doing music.
It would be what that would be? That would be like 3 of us have to meet at one place. Like if I said, you 3 guys are invited to my house, each one of you has a room. Like, let's just fucking hang out for like a weekend or 3 days.
Yeah.
Hang out in here and just fucking make music. You know what I mean? Go out in the fucking pool, barbecue, fucking, which, hey, listen, by the way, that is a viable.
I was going to say, I'm
serious. Well, there's Lou right there. Lou, just in time. Look at him looking all what's his name from what's that fucking movie with Keanu Reeves?
The Matrix.
The Matrix.
I've been called the White Lawrence Fishburne.
That's who you look like.
Well, since Mark and I are the Wrecking 2, I decided to go Hollywood.
And listen, you go for it, buddy. Go for it.
I can't see a damn thing.
I can't see a thing.
Technical difficulties. God.
That's all right.
I started my shit a half hour early too. It just doesn't.
Welcome to the show. Well, I played your intro again. Second week in a row, you missed it.
Great way to start the show.
Yeah. You'll have to watch the replay.
I do.
Yeah.
And thank you, by the way.
But no. This is done. Thank you, and that's all there is to it.
Okay.
You created it. I'm the one that's using it. So
I'll stop saying thank you. I realize what my technical problems are. We have an AI. We have this artificial intelligence thing in our lives.
Named Perry Dedovich?
Yeah, Perry Dedovich. He's working, but he's screwing with me from work. Oh, hi, Patricia.
Yeah. So I was just saying, there we go. I think she meant to say good evening, Lou. There you go.
I like good arcing.
Lou got the yellow heart. Look at that. And me and Mark got the yellow hearts too. Look at that.
Oh, that's nice.
Hi, Patricia.
She's the best.
Does that mean anything in emoji language? Because we communicate with pictures now. We have to glean what people mean by.
So I think the red hot is like really like, that's kind of special for
that's love.
Yeah. Right. Patty loves us in the yellow zone. Right. That's I think the yellow zone is the friend zone.
The friend zone, yeah.
So we're in the friend zone.
Oh, we've been friend zoned. I've been there.
You're in the friend zone.
When you look for love on LinkedIn, you get friend zoned a lot.
Oh, here we go with the LinkedIn. It's where, by the way, for the people that don't know, it's where Lou meets his dates on LinkedIn.
Looking for love in all the wrong places.
Only executive level. Nothing below executive level.
Nothing but tens.
That's right. So
he's tired of sleeping single in the double bed.
Oh, she's
bringing all the country songs out here.
Patricia said it's the best zone.
I beg to defer on that, Patricia. Are you on LinkedIn, Patricia?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll leave. I'll leave. You guys talk.
I know. I'm on the move. Why don't we
I'm on the move.
God,
you want to put Lou up on? You know what? This is what we'll do.
I got the urge.
Is just putting Lou up on the screen.
God, I'll call you on the phone.
Exactly. We'll give Lou the whole show, the whole screen.
I got the urge to merge, man. What am I going to do?
Oh my God. Lou's on fire.
Come springtime and a young man's fancy turns the thoughts of love.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay.
You're killing me.
What did I
laughing. Patty's laughing.
I hope so. Patty, I meant to all due respect.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, now he says that.
He's probably married.
Don't get this show fucking Me Too'd, Lou. Do not get this podcast Me Too'd.
Me?
I will go to fucking wherever the fuck you are, Arkansas, fucking North Carolina.
Arkansas.
I'll find you.
Oh boy.
Get my podcast Me Too'd. It'd actually be the best publicity this podcast ever got.
Think about it. It might boost viewership. We might get like endorsements and cars.
Bad publicity is good publicity.
That's right.
So there could be a Milk Crate's LinkedIn page.
And nobody can spell my name right. So
I can't. I've known you for almost 30 years.
Colicchio?
Something like that. Collichio, yes.
I see. Okay, anyway.
Cola.
Hey, Lou, do you have it? Did you know?
Yeah, you guys probably covered them all.
No, we just started. We got two off.
Yeah.
Did you know that David Lovering of the Pixies is also a professional magician?
Really?
Yeah. As long as you're not a ventriloquist, I'm okay with it. That's just,
so he's what, the drummer?
He's a drummer, yeah.
Yeah.
He's played with a lot of other people too, but was he in the Breeders or something, or a lot of those indie bands kind of mingle. But anyway,
well, if he was in the Breeders, it's because of Kim Deal, who was in the Pixies, right?
In the Pixies, that's correct. That's right. So that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So the current lineup of the Pixies, let me see. They've been let's see it right here. There we go. So the current lineup is Black Francis, Joey Santiago, David Lovering, and Paz Lenchantin.
Huh. Bass player.
Yeah. fucking good bass player.
Yeah. Okay. I've not heard anything they've done past a certain period.
She's from Argentina.
Wow.
And she played with originally, she filled in, she took over Kim Deal's spot. And she was the bass player for the original version of A Perfect Circle, which was the best version, which was Maynard's from Tool, his band that he put on the side. And if you watch the videos, she's a fucking badass bass player, man.
Cool.
I just think she should probably get a lot more credit than she does.
Yeah.
But she, you know, she's a musician, and she said she stuck with the Pixies.
Does Black Francis or Frank Black or Charles Thompson III, does he write all the songs?
I would think so.
I think so. That's like his thing. You know,
yeah.
He's
and
the guy.
Pixies are from where?
They're from your neck of the woods, right? Massachusetts, Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paz Lenchantin, what's the video? There's a cool part in the video. Let me see. Judith, right? There's a great part in that. It's a hard-hitting song. I don't know if you've ever heard it.
I have not.
Yeah, check out the video. And there's a part in there, she's playing, and it's done in like a warehouse type setting. And she's got the long hair, and she's in the high heels and the short dress, and she's jamming. And at one point, they cut to her, and it's right in a spot where she doesn't have to play. And she takes her hair like a fucking pro, takes it, throws it up, ties it, puts it in, and then right as she's done, boom, right back to playing. It was just the coolest timing. Cool. Like, she just knew exactly how to do that. And then just kept fucking wailing.
Didn't miss a beat.
No. Not bad to look at either. Not bad. Nice looking Argentinian girl.
Great part about if you're a professional full-time musician, you have all the time to play. You know, it's like, you know, guys, you know, me and Mark and stuff, you know, we work it around our schedules and stuff like that. But, you know, to have the luxury of being that full-time, you can do those moves.
Yeah. Mark, give us you ready for this?
I got a few.
Mark, give us your one. Did you know?
No. I got more than that. Don't worry. By the way, I have to take my glasses
Stretch it
off.
out.
My sister is telling me that the glare on my glasses is very annoying. So
okay, well, there you go. And my dear friend Mark Shannon, who was the one that anointed me the king of Facebook, told me to shut up. How dare you, Mark Shannon?
Oh, wow.
You know who Mark Shannon's son is? The owner of Great White Hot Sauce.
Is he really?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gets a pass, this motherfucker.
I love hot sauce. Just saying.
Scott,
I love hot sauce.
He tells me to shut up all the time, except he calls me Kingsley.
No, with the glare, I got the blue demon eyes right now. It's like robot if you put your head down, but who cares?
Yeah, you guys are being way too vain right now.
Yeah,
dude, Scott.
How does my hair look?
Older sisters don't. You know,
hey, listen, as you have said in the past, she whoop your ass. So
don't say that now. I don't want them to know I told you that.
Yeah,
that was only one of my
everybody
sisters.
Know.
I won't tell you which sister though.
I have a couple too.
All right. So did you give us your did you know? Mark?
Okay, I got a few. Don't worry, I'm okay here.
Okay.
Did you know that Angelina Jolie's uncle Chip Taylor wrote Wild Thing and Angel of the Morning? Of course, you guys know that.
Didn't know that. Yeah. Yes,
I didn't. So,
what was his name?
Chip Taylor.
Chip Taylor.
Chip off the block Taylor.
And her other brother Chuck Taylor invented the flat sneaker. Did not.
Are you?
As dry as a fucking bone. Did not.
He created flat arches in basketball, NBA players,
which influenced John Lennon to write "Here Comes Old Flat Top." Oh,
here comes old flat foot. Hey, flat foot ass, eh?
Oh, let's not get with the frog again.
That's right. That's right. That was last week, right?
Not with the frog.
Gosh, eh?
Okay. Oh, Jesus. I got one. Did you know Bob Dylan's first professional performance was as opening act for, Do you
Bob
know?
Dylan?
He was the opening act for.
So this is like early 60s or late 50s? Or in the 50s? Little Richard?
Pete Seeger?
Nope. John Lee Hooker.
Wow. Blues
at Gerde's Folk City in New York in 1961.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, don't you wish you had a time machine?
You know what you do for shit like that? Again, I wasn't, and I still am not a big Bob Dylan fan, but this shit like that, you're like, I was there. I mean, like I was there when Korn backed up, like Metallica. They were a backup band.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and I've been a huge fan ever since. But those are those moments, like you look back and you're like, I saw this band when they were backups. You know, I saw Bob Dylan when he was the opening act.
Right.
Yeah. Let me see. My buddy USAF Don says he knew some hookers.
The friend of the working girl. He was
in the same place I was at, so he definitely knew some hookers.
You're a hooker?
Outside of Clark Air Force Base, it was one big red light district, basically, as you would call it. You had to travel to get out of that. Like other places, other countries, you got to look for it. You got to fucking travel to get away from it. It was crazy back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a red light district kind of thing.
Oh, it was the whole fucking, it was just, we'll talk off the air one day.
I want to hear it. Like an adult
fucking
playground.
Debauchery.
Hey, Lou.
Made Las Vegas look like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
Can I do some Jersey humor? It must have looked like downtown Emerson. Oh.
Okay.
That's an inside one.
Okay.
I never liked that town, Mark. I don't know why.
Me neither. That's why I said it.
Okay.
All right, Lou, give me a did you know?
Did you know that Bono is the only person to be nominated for an Oscar, a Grammy, a Golden Globe, and a Nobel Prize?
The Nobel Prize is the one.
Prize.
Yeah.
Yes.
For his
did he win any? I don't know.
Well, I'm sure. I don't
Grammys.
think he won the Nobel. I'm sure he's won Grammys.
Yeah, no, they've won tons of Grammys.
Yeah.
Like Stephen Wright, I would kill for a Nobel Prize.
Right.
A Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I'd kill for a Nobel. See, you fucked the joke up. See?
I really did,
yeah. Let's see. Did you know? Let's see. The song "Take Me Home" by Phil Collins.
I love Phil Collins.
Is based on the movie One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest, or the book.
Really? Take Me Home.
Yeah, it's the singer or the person in the song that's singing, you know, other than Phil Collins, the character that he builds in that song is actually locked up in an asylum. And that's what he says, you know, take me home, you know, take me home.
Was that after the fishing trip?
Because I don't remember. He doesn't remember, you know, anything. So the person is saying, I don't remember. The video is very misleading.
It is.
But because, and that came from Phil Collins. He said that's the actual, that's what he based that song on.
Remember the video had the big swimming pool or the sauna or the jacuzzi in the back of the limousine or something? Yeah. He filmed that video while he was on a world tour, actually.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and then at the end, they kind of make it, you know, his wife kind of yells at him, you know, when he walks up and says, have you been at the pub all day? And he just kind of looks at the camera.
Does that little,
Did he pattern after the Harden character or the guy's Mr. Harden? A hard on. Remember the guy? I'm talking about my wife. I'm talking about my life. You know, remember his breakdown? You know the guy I'm talking about? And have you seen the last time you saw one of the characters? The guy, he's got a little small mustache. He's there voluntarily, but
I know. He's the pain in the ass guy.
Yes, his wife cheated him into oblivion. But he does that rant though. I'm not talking about heaven, hell, earth, but he goes and going on about his wife.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Great movie.
Yes,
with a young Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
young what's his name? John Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, who ended up being in Taxi together.
Yeah, that's right. And who played Billy Bibbit? That was Brad Dourif.
I don't know.
The young guy that had the stammer.
Yeah.
I think that's Brad Dourif.
I don't know.
But if you're a fan of the first movie Dune, he played the Mentat. Did you like the Dune movies? Right.
He was great in that movie.
Right. He was I forgot his name.
Yes, he did play Billy Bibbit.
He played Billy Bibbit.
There you go.
You
with the obscurity.
You ought to be bird dogging chicks and banging beaver, Billy.
And he went.
We're going blue. We're going blue. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, Mark.
What if Michael McDonald said that?
No.
No. I'm not doing it.
Jeez, Lou, you just ruined it. I was gonna.
Were you gonna?
I was gonna say, did you know that Michael McDonald sang lead backups on a Van Halen album? But forget that one. Did you know that the Muppet Show's Animal was inspired by Mick Fleetwood?
Yes, that was one of mine, man.
Didn't know.
Yeah. I didn't know that until today.
Really? You got the same Google page as me, huh, Lou?
Yeah, I do.
Look at you guys.
Well, I could be sitting here with my phone out.
You have a lot of things, but you have to cut.
Look, after the show's over, I'm going to think of 100 things that I know, but I just couldn't think of. I'll be like, oh, damn it. Oh, yeah.
Lou, what do you got?
Did you know Bob Dylan's IQ score is 106? So he's above average intelligence, but not a genius. No. I don't know what the average thing is, but
I'm probably 50.
So he's a smart guy, but not a super smart guy like that.
What's Lou Calicchio's IQ?
I took an IQ before I went into, and it's about the same as Dylan's. It's above average. Nicely above average, but not, certainly no genius.
Lou presents himself as intelligent.
It's a total sham.
How?
Learn some big words.
It's a total sham.
It's superfluous, Lou.
It's a brilliant disguise, as Bruce Springsteen would say.
Can you adjunct that statement, Lou?
What?
I'm using big words. I'm trying to be,
why are you saying bad words to me?
Hey, where can I take an IQ test like online? I mean, I want to take one.
Sure, there's 100 of them.
But are they legit? I don't want to take like Sal's online
pay for
IQ
those.
tests. Yeah.
And Mark, imbecile, like imbecile, that means genius in Italian. So if you get that, you are a genius.
Okay.
All right. And like Nimrod is really smart.
I'm proud to be an ignoramus.
It's bliss.
Well, there was a gang there was a group of us that we hung out in this part of town where I grew up at the Highlands, and we were the Ignos. I was like second generation, because now the original Ignos, who we all hung out, like they did not care if they were 25 and I was like 17. We're drinking beers together. We're partying because you're all part of the group, and they called themselves the Ignos because they were putting together a summer league basketball team, I believe, and they were going to call themselves the Ignoramuses after the Three Stooges, right? But it wouldn't fit on the shirt, number one, and number two, none of them knew how to spell it, right? So they just shortened it to Ignos, and then it just became Ignos. And if you hung up with up in this area, you were considered an Igno. You did a little bit of a little break-in. So
you were in a gang.
Pretty much.
That's cool.
But we weren't like a Warriors gang. I mean, we weren't, people didn't fuck with us. Mm-hmm. Everyone knew who we were, where we were, and, we were open. Yeah, anyone wanted to come up and hang out. It was cool, but it was just, we were known to just be a little fucking different than everybody else.
Gotcha.
Just a little different.
Look at you now.
Igno, once an Igno, always an Igno. Yep.
Was there like an initiation rite?
Yeah, my initiation was, we were having there was a Memorial or Labor Day party, I think, and they brought me into this grocery store up there in the Highlands area, and the owner Sonny was he was blind in one eye and couldn't see out of the other, right? And they walked me through the store and did the Animal House thing. They stuffed steaks down my shirt, down the back of my bed. Like, they loaded me up. And they just walked up and they bought a 6-pack. And I'm just standing there bulging. Like, and Sonny just looked at me like he couldn't see. And listen, and they just shuffled me out. And yeah. So that was kind of an initiation. I think that had to do with something with drinking.
Do you dream about that to this day? Do you feel bad?
No. No. No, not for 1 second did I feel bad. I've done things I feel bad about, but that's not one of them.
That's just the follies of a misspent youth.
Yeah. Yep, signs of a misspent youth. Yeah. I was playing.
It was Joan Jett, wasn't it? Wasn't that an album title of hers?
I don't know, but before that, I was dating this girl, and her parents were both Boston College grads, and her mom was a nurse in the Navy at one point, and he was a consultant. And anyway, so me and this girl, we're playing. It's me and her playing the parents in Trivial Pursuit, and it's coming up to the game-ending question, and they asked some question. They asked me, and I think it was a Beatles song, and like, what was the last Beatles song recorded on the Long and Winding Road, right? And I just kind of blurted out, and the father just looks at me and shakes his head and just says, "Signs of a misspent youth." I'll never forget that. And he just got up and walked like, I can't believe I lost to this fucking kid.
That's great.
She probably answered 89% of the questions anyways. So. But it was a music question.
You got the right one.
I got the right one. Anyways, moving on. So I got an interesting did you know? Did you know that because of the now member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Al Kooper, the song Time of the Season and the album in general, because of him, that got made by CBS Records. On his first day on the job, he went to Clive Davis, who didn't like the album, and said, "Time of the Season is the single that needs to be released off this album." They had released 2 or 3 other ones before that. And Clive Davis said, "All right, Al, we'll do it." And fucking boom. Big save.
Yeah.
Big save. Now, on top of that, did you know that the clap in there,
yeah,
with throw-ins at the last minute, as fillers, and it was done in one take. That was it. And that's a classic part of the song.
It's part of the whole rhythm of it.
And also, to finish it up, that song was actually written in 1967. It got released in 1969. So that thing sat around.
And that was 1969. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That song, who coined the phrase, "Who's your daddy?"
That's right. Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Yeah.
And I forget his name, the lead singer.
Colin Bloodstone.
Yep. He got that from Summertime. Song Summertime. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking.
Wow. Okay. Cool, man.
So he kind of coined it off that, like, who's your daddy?
Right. Is he rich like me?
Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Look at me.
Yeah, man. That was a multi-tiered thing.
Well, do you know is my thing? Do you know is my thing? I kind of got really good at him from Jack backing out at the last minute. Putting this, Mark, that's why I might know a lot of these things, because I might have already said them and done them.
Oh, I do that all the time. Do you know how many times Lou and Perry say on Music Relish, "Yeah, you said that on another show"?
we recycle a lot of material. Come on, man.
No, but I just don't remember if I say something.
I hear you.
And by the way, gentlemen, I am actually going to put a cap on tonight. We won't do a 2.5-hour marathon. Mark had graciously forewarned that he has to get up very early, as opposed to when Jack's on, I could give a shit. He gets up early every fucking
I want to
morning.
have the experience of doing this and just shutting my camera.
No, we're not going to give you that. We're not going to give you that. No, okay. We're not going to get that. So this will not be a 2.5-hour marathon. When we're done, we're done. And we get every once in a while. Plus, I get the Celtics coming on.
Okay. I'll watch that too.
We know we can do it every week, though.
I just don't know which TV I'm going to watch it on, as you can see.
That's really distracting.
It's like a sports bar, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking at your damn TVs.
I have them on different, it's different timing, because I just slowed them down, each one on purpose, just so it has that dynamic of shifting.
Can I get my wings, please? I've been waiting for a half hour.
Yeah. Go get your wings. Are you serious? You got your wings?
No. I mean, me and my son we ate dinner before we got.
Oh, okay. I don't care.
I was ready to go. I was ready to go. There's technical problems.
Jack already broke that mold, and then so did I.
You never see me eat. It ain't pretty.
All right, Mark, give us a did you know that we already know?
Yeah.
You're 3 for 3.
Did you know that Paul McCartney performed at the 2012 London Olympics opening ceremony for £1, $1.57?
Wait a minute. McCartney did that?
Mm-hmm.
A notorious skinflint? The guy that had a cash bar at his wedding, apparently.
Really?
Apparently he did.
Oh, see, that's a good did you know?
Yeah, really. Yeah. It's an addendum to Mark's. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard that.
Number one,
Mr.
Todd Sockman, Chief Sockman. I'm here. Entertain me.
Every time he says
he's
that,
on his ride home.
He's like the red-haired Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He's the red-headed Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, every time he says that, I think of Queen Jazz and Let Me Entertain You. That's all.
I always think of Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? I guess that should be my reply. Entertain me. Are you not entertained?
Right.
And then do this.
You don't want Lou doing that because it's only going at one person.
You guys are the gladiators. I'm the performing flea. in your gladiator arena.
Yeah, I'm not going to be performing a flea in your flea circus. Isn't that what you said, Lou?
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to be.
I am.
And what was the term? I'm not going to be a flea in your flea circus.
I'm not a performing flea in your flea circus, Mr. McLean.
That was great. That was great. All right, Lou, give us a did you know?
Okay. Things I didn't know. Given the amazing beauty of her voice, Aretha Franklin was a chain smoker. She also fathered a child.
Whoa, wait. You can't do that.
No, it wasn't Arthur Franklin. She had a child at the age of 12. She was young.
I had heard that. I had seen an interview with her, and she actually mentioned that. I think it was on like an interview on like that show Sunday Morning when it used to be good.
Yep. But it always marvels me that these singers like Sinatra and Aretha Franklin had these amazing. I guess their voices were so indestructible that like smoking's one of the worst things you can do for your voice. Yet they managed to do it for a long, long period of time through most of their career, and then when you get older, she quit.
Yeah.
But just the fact that amazing voice was not, for the most part, harmed by that.
Did you know? I'm going to go on a little bit of a roll here. Did you know? And this is definitely open for conversation, open for dialogue. Did you know that fucking Phil Collins isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Wow.
As a solo.
Yeah. Did you think he was in? Did you?
I did.
Right?
I assumed he was in.
He's not in the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
If there's nothing else, the amount of money he's generated, that's part of it.
Is that because of you, Scott? Because that incident?
No, actually, I rethought this the other day, and I said, you know what? I think I was too hard on him, and I don't think it was his wife was a real bitch. Is the Cuban wife down here in Miami? Trust me, I can say that. I'm not a fucking racist, so shut up.
So shut up.
Yeah. I don't know why more people just don't say that. Fuck you, shut up. I'm not a racist. Move on. I rethought it because I always liked Phil Collins. That's why I got the tickets. And I think my grudge is over with him.
It's got to be. The guy's on his final.
My grudge is over with him. I've moved on. I've moved on.
I feel bad about making fun of him sitting in the chair singing too.
Oh, and then he fell over.
At least you didn't make fun of him sitting in a chair singing like Michael McDonald. That would have been the all end all.
Stop it!
I can't.
Don't provoke.
I can't do it. He said I can't.
There you go. Don't.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the green room. He's got creatures in the green room now. It's bad. It's really bad.
Phil Collins is not in the, but fucking Pat Benatar is. Phil Collins is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but the fucking Go-Go's are. Phil Collins is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fucking Carly Simon is. I was watching this. I watch these videos sometimes, this guy, Professor Rock, and even he said that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is all fucking political now.
It's got to be.
They don't nominate rock and roll people anymore. It's all pop and it's all. He said, call it the Music Hall of Fame, and I know we probably all think the same thing.
It's music industry leaders that are deciding it, so they've taken control of it, and it's all about money. Tom Hanks. Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing there?
Right.
Well, he made the thing that you do. He's
exactly. Yeah,
but that's not enough.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but anyway, so Phil Collins is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
and you know what sucks about that?
People are.
What sucks is they're going to induct him after he dies, like Chris Squire from Yes. Yes never got in.
He just missed
Chris Squire dies, and then it's like
he's in with Genesis.
Yeah.
But his solo career, the guy
almost eclipsed Genesis as far as
was a fucking monster.
Oh hell yeah!
In the 80s, I mean, there's like 5 monsters you could pick out of the 80s. He's one of them. Madonna, Michael Jackson, Phil Collins, Hall & Oates, and who do you think the 5th one would be?
Maybe Prince, maybe?
In the 80s? Yeah, you can say Prince, right?
There's others, I mean.
I would say like dominating the charts. Prince had fucking songs all over the place. So, but Phil Collins is definitely one of them. Lionel Richie was a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Was it the fact that Phil Collins became an object of derision because he was very ubiquitous for a while? He did the movie Buster. He did the Live Aid. He flew the Concorde. He grew a beard over the Atlantic and kind of botched that Led Zeppelin song when he played rock and roll. He didn't get the beat right. But it was just the fact that he was everywhere, and it's a backlash against success and popularity, maybe commercial. I mean, they were all commercial artists. I mean, Lionel Richie, like I said, he was a monster.
Yeah,
sold tons of records. I mean, Kenny Rogers was another. He was a monster for a while, but is he? He's not in the rock and roll. Is Grand Funk Railroad in the Rock and Roll Hall?
No,
they're not.
No,
you think they should be?
I think there's a good argument for them.
Strong contender for it. Yeah, I agree, Scott. I mean,
there's a good argument for them.
There's a good argument for them to be in there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Fucking Rage Against the Machine, who I love. I've seen them in concert twice. Love them. I don't care about their politics. I listen to the music and I listen to what the message. And sometimes I agree, but sometimes I don't. But it doesn't matter. I just like the music. I like the They made 4 fucking albums. 4.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
It's not a big
4
catalog.
albums.
But they made a big musical statement.
Hell yeah.
And Phil Collins isn't in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made 4 albums. The Pet Shop Boys, second fucking biggest duo in the history of music, behind like Hall & Oates, right?
And Dusty Springfield.
Yeah, that was her last. They brought her off. They dusted her off.
Did they really?
Well, they did. They brought her. They were big fans of hers, and they brought her in to do that.
Smart idea. Ellen John said she was the best white singer ever.
Yeah. So they brought her in, and she got to have one more life at the top.
Yeah.
And then she passed away after that. But the Pet Shop Boys again, but no, because they're the Pet Shop Boys, they're not considered to be what? I don't know, music. They're not rock. They're putting in fucking anybody now. They're putting country people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
If you call them pop, that definitely gets you in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
But fucking Pat Benatar gets in. This is what Jack doesn't get. Jack either fights just to fight, but you got to look at it and say they're just throwing these fucking people in there. These women are getting thrown in there over these great fucking people that are much better.
He had a good point though. They've been inducting women since the first year. He did make that point. He was right.
Right, but then this became this. There's a big disparity between the males and the females in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and this has to change.
That's
why there's a big influx in the last 3 years of women getting put in.
Every year,
Sheryl Crow over fucking Phil Collins. Sheryl Crow over Paul fucking Rogers.
Yeah,
even Freddie Mercury said is probably the greatest voice, greatest frontman in music.
Right.
I think that Sheryl Crow got in because of her connections. That's what I think.
Because they need to put more women in. They're all fucking beta males running that fucking thing.
And didn't Perry had it right. He said last year they just did a documentary on Sheryl Crow. She's in next year. He was right.
I said bullshit. I was wrong.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we were talking about Leather Tuscadero. Why isn't Susie Quattro in? If you look at, I read about her yesterday. I mean, she's done a whole lot of shit. She was a groundbreaker too. Not to mention the Happy Days stuff, but she was a girl rock and roller that, she fought her way in there, and she's made albums all along. But if you look at, she's actually been rather influential, mostly in England and in Europe. Like,
well, that's why Joan Armatrading won't get in, because she's more popular over in England than she's over here.
Yeah. But if you ask all these artists, and I guess a lot of female artists as well, you said she would probably come up as an influence in a lot of those lists of people.
Yeah. So would Lita Ford.
She's still around, isn't she? Joan Armatrading. She's still
Joan Armatrading's still around. Yeah, she actually a couple years ago, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, she won a Grammy for best jazz album. I mean, the fucking lady's career is fucking unbelievable. Look her up, wiki her when you get a chance. Joan Armatrading, 50 plus years now. She's been making music, and she fucking has won all sorts of fucking accolades. Yeah. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will not. Well, they won't recognize her.
She's an artist favorite.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. She should fucking get in number one because she fits all the fucking check boxes. Yeah, she's a black female lesbian. I mean, come on, Rock Hall of Fame. You want to be all fucking
check. I think the biggest thing to get you in is your connections. She doesn't have, she's not one that placates the record industry, but Sheryl Crow does.
I love Joan Armatrading. I've been a fan of her since 1980. I love Joan Armatrading. Saw her in concert.
That's my first heard of her. Was it
Me, Myself, I?
Me, Myself, I. That was like
great fucking album.
Oh, even that song alone, I'm like, this is really a cool song. Really, I mean, it's interesting.
All the Way from America. I mean, that's a great fucking song too. She's just a very talented woman, and they just don't. They'll put Pat Benatar in. Like, what?
I don't mind Pat Benatar getting.
I don't either.
She didn't do it. Nah, she didn't do her fucking time. She has to go in after.
Well, you said she did, but I think her initial splash, though. I mean, if you ask Sheryl Crow if she was an influence, Sheryl Crow would definitely say yes. It might have. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, like they weren't big writers of their own material, but were the Go-Go's? Did they write?
But I guess what I'm saying is, over Phil Collins?
No, definitely not.
Over Paul Rodgers?
Over America?
Over the Pet Shop Boys?
Over Michael McDonald?
Look how long it took. What's his name to get in? George Michael.
Yeah.
And you know why George Michael got in? I'm gonna fucking tell you right now.
He's dead.
No, number one, he's dead. But number two, what's his name? Drummer for Foo Fighters. Taylor Hawkins was a big advocate for George Michael getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Good for him. And all of a sudden, Taylor Hawkins dies, right? Yeah. And the following year, George Michael gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Coincidence? Maybe. But
the Foo Fighters being a very popular band, and
So it really is.
What though? The stuff that we're talking about, the arguments, there's like a million arguments. Go on social media every year when someone mentions Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't even want to read the comments. Some Gentle Giant should be in. Oh, Gentle Giant were a great band, but should they be in?
Start getting a little, start getting obscure. Just because your favorite band.
Yeah.
How about Marillion?
Marillion. Kaylee. I'm just trying to say I love you.
Look, I'm an Emerson Lake and Palmer fan, but I understand they're not in. It's cool. Like, I'm okay. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I like my band. I'm not going to it doesn't bother me if they're not in. It doesn't bother me. Like, listen to the music you like. If they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, maybe it's good. At some point, it's going to be a badge of honor if you're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Right. They'll be like we're cool. So we never made it.
Or if you're in the Michigan online Rock and Roll, there's like online Rock and Roll Hall of Fames. Like,
so I'm calling this right now. I called this last year when they came up with this rule. So the Academy Awards starting in 2024. To be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture, you have to have literally all the boxes checked on making the movie. Disabled people, people of, what do they say? People of what? I don't even fucking pay attention to them. Of lesser, well, what people? How do they word that shit?
Not white.
No. People of lesser something, whatever the fuck it is.
Intellect.
No, it's something like that. But you got to have you have to have black people, Latin people, disabled people. You have to have lesbians, gays. You have to have everything has to be filled on the set.
Wow.
It doesn't matter how good you are,
right,
to be nominated for Best Picture. right? So you can have the fucking greatest movie in the world, but if you don't have the blind guy, fucking running the boom,
right? Well,
this means people on the crew.
Everything.
It's got to be everything. Whether
wait, Scott, is this a blind guy who's on camera? Is this a guy that's blind in one eye and can't see out of the other?
Yeah, Sonny.
One of the most profound statements.
Whenever he's working, just go. You get all the free meat you want. Just buy a pack of gum.
You know where this all started with?
And tell him, I have a pack of gum.
This all started in the 1930s with "We Are the Lollipop Kids."
Yeah, we represent the Lollipop Kids.
They got treated like shit.
Yeah. Well, either way. So what you're going to have, like you just said, Mark, I think you said it's going to be a badge of honor to not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Yeah.
It's going to happen.
You're going to have a whole fucking, and I'm praying this happens. I think it will happen. You're going to have a whole new group of young directors that are going to come up and like Quentin Tarantino type saying, fuck the Academy Awards. Yeah. I don't need your fucking awards.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Nobody's watching it anymore anyways. Yeah. I just want to make a lot of fucking money with my movie.
Right.
I don't need your awards because
do what I want.
Nobody listens to the fucking Academy. No one wants. This generation behind us and the two generations behind us, they could give two fucks about the Academy Award.
Yeah, true.
Look, Zoetrope Studios was a reaction to the old Hollywood, Francis came up and said, we don't give a shit. And it cycles, and you're going to but these young people that don't give a shit about the Academy Awards, they're going to make some really good movies that will win Academy Awards.
Mark Wahlberg wants to build a fucking studio out in Vegas where you just make fucking movies. Like, he pulled his whole family out of Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood. He goes, that place is no good anymore.
It's a money game. You just to do anything.
He's going to build a studio out in Vegas and make movies out there. You want to make your movie? Use my studio out here. You don't need all those fucking regulations. All the identity politics.
The other thing, though, is like to talk to a guy who writes a what do you call it? A screenwriter, right? He comes up with a great movie. By the time it just goes through all the executives and all the bullshit, no movie that's made is what was originally intended. Right. And we've all seen so many movies get totally screwed up, fucked up by, some guy sitting in an office that has no idea what's a good movie, we got to do. It's not always even
Same
the
in
identity.
The music industry.
Just, yeah.
Same in the music industry. Look at fucking, what's his name? Clive Davis didn't want to put out Time of the Season.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking epic song. Let's get back to this. Lou, what do you got for Did You Know?
I like Buddy Holly trivia.
Cool.
So, the reason Buddy Holly chartered the airplane that killed him, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper was that he ran out of clean clothes. He didn't want to wait. So he didn't want to take the drive. He wanted clean clothes for the next gig. So he chartered the fateful decision to charter that plane.
Wow.
And if you want to see something really macabre and funny and dark, remember the Kids in the Hall?
Yeah.
They have a skit called Buddy Holly. It's friggin' dark as all get out, man. It's funny, but it's like, in fact, I won't give the whole thing away, but they actually found the type of plane that he used, that he was in, and Kevin McDonald, the cast member, he plays Buddy Holly, but he's standing in front of the plane. So they did their research, I think even some of the cleathes they were wearing, it looks like they were wearing on that got on the plane. Yeah. But it's funny, but it's dark, but it's extremely dark. Yeah, so clean clothes, clean stage clothes.
Are you guys a fan of The Young Ones from England, that TV show? Remember that comedy show?
I've seen it.
Remember the Buddy Holly episode where Vivian or the Neil, the hippie, goes up in the attic and there's Buddy Holly hanging upside down. He's like, "How long have you been up here?" For about 35 years. I've written some new songs. He's upside down with the Stratocaster.
What was Buddy's real name? His full name?
I don't know.
Y-Dub.
Charles Hardin Holly. Holley.
Lou, Holly. Did you name Buddy after Buddy?
Yes, he was. It was actually my dog's name was Buddy Levon Calicchio.
Nice.
From Levon Helm?
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. But I figured Buddy is short for Budward. Like Eddie's Edward, Buddy. I made a name Budward.
Oh, Jesus. All right, moving on.
All right.
What else you got, Mark?
Okay, so to preface this one, anyone that's over 50 knows that like in the early 80s, you'd go into record stores, mostly chains, and you saw a massive amount of MCA record cutouts. You remember the cutout records that were $3.99 cheaper?
Yeah.
Did you know that MCA, under the guidance of Irving Azoff, were counterfeiting their own records? And they had somebody on the staff called Sal Picello, who was connected to the Gambino crime family. I do not know this, and I lifted this from our Music Relish podcast.
Be careful what you say, Mark.
Yeah. If you did not know this, Scott, find Hitmen on. It's a great book, and it's all about the mob and music. But I laughed when I found out that, because I used to always go to Strawberries Records or Sam Goody's, and I bought Elton John albums. I bought anything that was on MCA. I would buy them. Like, holy shit, there's so many MCA cutouts. It's great. I was buying counterfeit records, but so MCA would find other duplicators, record pressing plants, and they were connected. Vincent the Chin, what's his last name, Lou? Gigante was part of this too, and yeah. And how Irving Azoff came out of it squeaky clean and didn't get in trouble is beyond me. He's the Teflon Don.
He is. Well, according to Don Henley, he's Satan.
Yeah.
Now, Strawberry Records was owned by Morris Levy, who you mentioned on last week's show that he was the owner of Roulette Records. He was a music industry gangster, so he owned the Strawberry Record King.
It's interesting. I shop there.
I know. Well, you mentioned it. You probably got the same deal there.
Yeah.
Having their own material.
So just, all this thing about counterfeiting, and the record industry goes, oh my God, it's ruining us. Well, there was a huge record label counterfeiting themselves.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm going to go into hiding now.
So, okay. Yeah, exactly. Back to more Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bullshit.
More of this? Come on.
Did you know that the Dave Matthews Band this year was the #1 vote getter by the fans?
No. George Michael was.
Yeah. Was it George Michael?
All right. George Michael got over 1 million votes. Cyndi Lauper got 928,000. Warren Zevon got 634,000. Iron Maiden got 449,000, and Soundgarden got 427,000. That was the current. Maybe they're already opening the next year to the fans. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay.
Yeah. Either way, the fans vote doesn't always. They don't give the fans vote a lot.
Well, you know what happens if you win the fan vote? If you're like the top 5, it gives you 1 extra vote.
That's it.
And
so you're basically just stroking the fans.
Who got in? Only George Michael, right? Cyndi Lauper, Warren, Iron Maiden, they didn't get in. Soundgarden didn't get in.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper contender worthy.
Well, fuck. If the Go-Go's are in there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, she had a huge album, right?
I would put Cyndi before Cheryl. Myself, yeah.
Okay. That's a good argument.
Just my opinion.
You're not going to get any argument from me.
Right.
Yeah. It's all
I'm not a big fan of her, like we know, but listen, it is what it is. She dominated the first half of the 80s. She kind of faded off. I think her gimmick was her thing.
Mm-hmm. She had a great voice, but her gimmick overtook her. Talent.
Just like she was kind of like a Boy George type thing, right?
Yeah.
She
Bop was one of the best singles of the 80s.
Yeah.
Great subject matter too.
Yeah. So she had a good little run, but I don't know. I would say in the 80s, Pat Benatar was more of a musician, more of a accomplished singer, and probably has more album sales.
She had a recognizable band too. The other guitar player, Scott St. Clair Sheets, he actually wrote some of the Pat Benatar songs. So one guy in the band was a bit of a writer.
I thought it was all Neil Girardo.
Nope. They did some co-writes, but I forgot one big song, or actually a couple of big songs were written by the other guitar player. And the drummer was a kick-ass drummer.
Yes.
Kick-ass rock and roll. Myron Grombacher, a kick-ass rock and roll drummer.
Yes, very good.
Yep. Showy's all get out too.
Yeah. Trivia question.
I'm gonna fail.
Which album was bigger? No Jacket Required or Invisible Touch?
I'm going to go with No Jacket Required.
And Lou, you said Invisible Touch?
Yes, I did.
All right, so No Jacket Required had, what hits did I think they had Susu Studio and One More Night, right? To two number
Take Me
ones.
Home.
Off
Wasn't
that.
Take Me Home on that album?
Take Me Home's on there. There was some singles on there, right?
Massive.
Take Me Home is on that record.
I think it was on. It was on. No Jacket Required.
Billy, don't lose that number.
Right.
Yeah.
So he had two number ones. Invisible Touch had 5 singles, but only had one number one on it. And that was Invisible Touch was Genesis, and then No Jacket Required was Phil Collins' Individual. So No Jacket sold 12 million in the U.S., 25 million worldwide, right? International. Invisible Touch that was the only number one song off of that album. Off of Invisible Touch was the song Invisible Touch. Had 6 million US and 21 million international. So in 1985, Phil Collins edges out 1986 Genesis.
Wow. Mark got it.
I figured that. Yeah, he was massive. Massive.
I also thought there was a massive tour that Genesis did.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't Tonight wasn't a big hit. It wasn't number one.
No, it wasn't. No, there was hits. Yeah. The only number ones were, like I said, off of No Jacket was Susu Studio and One More Night.
I got to say this. My good friend Kevin Pauly just said both albums were the equal diameter. Neither one was bigger than the other. Oh,
really?
That was great. That's the kind of shit we talk about at the bar. Come on.
Does he drink the same wine as you?
Nah, he's a beer drinker. He's a good beer drinker.
Australian kangaroo juice.
Does he drink Bud Light?
He drinks European beer.
Oh, good man. Well, listen, Anheuser-Busch is basically European beer now. It's not American owned.
No, it's not. Done with the Dutch, I think.
Yeah.
But I find this whole Bud Light thing funny is that even if I drank Bud Light, I wouldn't want to admit I drank it. From the day I started drinking beer, I'm like, Bud Light.
You see what they're doing now? See what they
any light beer is shit, you know?
See what they're doing now, Anheuser-Busch? Now they're going to say that they're changing the bottles, and they're going to come out with the bottles are going to be camouflage, and it's going to say America on it.
They've always done that shit. They cater to every whim.
This is them trying to get out of the fucking Dylan Mulvaney bullshit, right? Look, they said every fucking, I don't know, everyone sold, they're going to contribute to a veteran, a deceased veteran's children's college fund. Like, they are trying to say, hey, America, forgive us.
Yeah. They've always been like 10 years ago.
They're pandering.
4th of July, I would go get beer for a 4th of July picnic, and there's Budweiser with the red, white, and blue cans. I hate that shit because they don't give a shit about any of that. They're just doing it to sell beer, and I hate that shit.
You know what I like about it? Drinking Bud Light is like having sex in a canoe. It's fucking close to water.
Now, I remember when Bud Light first came out, right? It was, I think it was 85? No, 80. It was 84?
80s, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
right?
it was around the 70s. I didn't know
80.
that.
No, Bud Light first came out in maybe it was 83. All right, I'll say 83. Because we had gone to a party, my friends and I, in another town, and it had just broke, but you couldn't find it anywhere. And there's a liquor store in this town that had it, and they were silver cans. That's what made them different. Like, everyone looked, they were very standout. They stood out, right? So it was the day before the St. Patrick's Day parade in South Boston, the night before. So we get like a case of the shit. You can't buy on the Sundays back then. They had the blue laws, right? In Massachusetts. Yeah. So we bought a case of it, and we brought it into the South Boston, and we're standing at the parade, and people were walking by saying, "Wait, is that a Bud Light?" I'm like, yeah. Can I get one? And say, well, we'll trade. I traded literally a Bud Light for 3 Michelobes.
Oh, shit.
Here you go.
And Michelob was a good beer.
I like Michelob. Mick Lights. I used to love Michelob Lights, actually, speaking of light beer. But people were just they'd trade 2 for 1s. You're like, fuck, oh, yeah, sure. Here you go. And they would hold on to it. It was like this trophy they had.
Wow.
Yeah, and I capitalized on that.
And where they screwed up, in a sense, as far as sales, is that, being in the industry, I know these facts. Bud Light had been selling Budweiser regular for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So as far as the whole Anheuser-Busch thing, that's the main beer, or it has been. I mean, so that was public relations nightmare.
the guy that started Anheuser-Busch, he was quite a character. He called his beer Dutch Schlop because it was the schlop that he sold to German immigrants. He knew it was shit. Wow. And when you read the can, I laugh at this. They won that World's Fair. They really didn't win it. I forget who won it, but he chased the judges around the world vigorously for a long. It's funny. All right, just give him the award. I like that though. It's funny, you know.
It's like Firehouse subs. You know what?
I've never had them, but they're advertised.
I went in one time. It says award-winning chili. So I asked the kid behind the counter. I go, what award did that chili win?
You're that customer.
I'm that guy. Kid fucking looks at me. He's like,
that guy.
What I said, it says award-winning chili. What award did they win? Says, I don't know. Well, then I'm not buying it. Give me a meatball sub.
The subs are good, but me and my son went there. I'm like, $35, really?
Yeah, they came and went. They're still around, but
we had one by us. So.
All right, let's get one more in.
One more thing about Bud Light.
And then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna jump into the Did You Knows. It's 90-minute show tonight.
Yeah, when I was in high school, beer drinking. So when Bud Light came out, we're like, wow, Bud Light, you could drink twice the amount. So I remember sitting by the river in Hillsdale, down by the river, drinking a 12-pack and getting about 8 beers in and going, guys, this beer you don't get less drunk from it. I just remember the whole woods swimming. Yeah, I was like spins and everything. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you learned your lesson. Light beers. But then I became a Coors Light drinker, which nowadays I'm like, holy, what was I doing?
That shit's got caffeine in it, I swear. The first time I got sick on beer was Michelob, and that made me not ever drink it again. Couldn't do it.
I'll tell you what, if you want to talk about drinking, getting what you think you're getting more for your money, I used to, when Lowenbrau was a good beer, we used to get
when it was an import from Munich.
They had
great beer.
They had mini Lowenbraus.
Yes,
the case had 48 of them in there.
Yes, it did.
And you fucking drink those things like fucking water.
Yeah.
And you get trashed pretty fucking fast on those. Then I moved over to the beer that no one would steal. Me and a friend of mine, God rest his soul, we started drinking Lowenbrau Darks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who's this guy over here?
Yeah, dark beer. Yeah. I used to like dark beer. No one's going to steal your beers because when we went to a party, you didn't put your shit in a fucking refrigerator. Like we went to a party that night, like we were at somebody else in another town, people walking in and we cut our cooler and like you always had somebody on guard. Yeah. And we're going to go mingle. You stay with the cooler. Yeah. Right, because that's what marauders will come in Winthrop if you're getting your shit's empty, right? Yep. So we fucking go to the refrigerator, see people putting beers in the refrigerators. We're like, fuck, drinking our beer. We're just gonna fucking drink their beer. So we fucking marauded the fucking refrigerator, right? Trusting motherfuckers they were.
As a musician, some of the best experience I had playing was playing at parties like that, playing the house parties.
Yeah.
The parents are away for the weekend. Me and my brothers, we had a pretty popular band in our town for a while. Fun stuff because there was no real pressure. You could play good, but you partied your ass off, and it was fun.
Hey, why isn't Foreigner in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
They're not.
Good point.
Is Lou Graham not one of the best voices?
Yeah, he's great.
In maybe rock history.
Yep.
I think people really take his voice for granted.
Yeah.
You listen to Lou Graham sing. That motherfucker's voice
rock
is
and soul.
Pure. It's strong. It's fucking. He can go different octaves.
Yeah.
Scott, you got a favorite Foreigner album?
And Mick Jones, a douchebag.
Yeah, but he's a good writer.
Oh yeah,
he's a good. You know what? Foreigner's first album. It was a Sunday, day like any other day. I left a small town. That's my favorite because that's what introduced me to Foreigner. When they started getting soft and then I just kind of started walking, okay.
But it's a great vocal performance.
It is. Oh no, like I said, Lou Graham's voice. Why they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and fucking Sheryl Crow is?
Yeah.
Well, when I was growing up, I think I was about 8 years old, and Double Vision came out. My sister had it, and I listened to that. Good, I love that album. But when
Jukebox Hero, and that was what, 80, 81?
Yeah, when Head Games came out, Head Games is my favorite album. Yeah. It's a heavy album. They weren't trying to be commercial.
Foreigner 4 is when they changed. They did Urgent.
They got rid of the other guys in the band. They just became a 4-piece band.
Yeah, that's right.
They fired Ian McDonald from King Crimson.
King Crimson, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. All right, well, listen, let's move on.
What is Lou Gramm's real name? What is his last name? What is it really?
All right, well, that's a good... You got to start it with Did You Know?
Did you know that Lou Gramm's real last name is Grammatico?
Really?
Yeah. So are we doing one more Did You Know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I got one. Okay. Did you know that when Elvis died on the throne on August 16th, 1977, he was reading a book called The Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus? So the book
it's a good way to end this fucking
Name your sources, Lou. Name your sources.
Google like everybody else, man. Come on.
It was in that Eminem video. He was holding that exact book. That's how you knew.
I didn't see it. Well, his girlfriend at the time, she found him. So he was sitting on the toilet. He just in the same position. She said it looked like he was frozen sitting up. He just fell forward in the same position. Yeah. But the book apparently might have. I think the book ended up across the room, like he might have flung it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But the book was about the Shroud of Turin. You know about the Shroud of Turin?
Oh, I love that.
But they carbon dated the Shroud of Turin. It was from the Middle Ages, so it wasn't Jesus.
Right.
But they said it showed signs of stigmata on him, but it was not Jesus. It was every hippie in Asheville, actually.
Okay.
It was George Harrison.
Let's see. All right, let's jump into top 10 singles this week in 1995. Number 10 this week in 1995, Strong Enough, Miss Sheryl Crow. I do like that song. That is a good song, but that doesn't make her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame worthy. It is a very good song. Number 9 this week in 1995, Dear Mama, Old School by Tupac. Number 8 this week in 1995, I Believe by Blessed Union of Souls. Number 7 this week in 1995, Water Runs Dry by one of the monsters of the 90s, Boyz II Men. Right? Number 6 this week in 1995, Runaway by Real McCoy. Number 5 this week in 1995, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman by Bryan Adams.
From what movie?
Robin Hood.
I think wasn't it Don
No, that was the one with Sting, that song. The one he did with Sting and
wasn't that Don Juan DeMarco or something like that, or Don Juan?
Might have been, yeah.
The
one from Robin Hood
evidently didn't see it.
All I know is I have a bone to pick. When I saw Sting at the theater underneath Madison Square Garden, the old Felt Forum, great show. He was jamming, and all of a sudden he goes, "Okay, I got to go up." We didn't get an encore. He says, "I got to go upstairs. Bryan Adams is playing in the garden, and I got to sing that duet he did with him." And I was like, I lost my encore because of Bryan Adams.
Fuck Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
Is he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Wasn't he up for?
He's in the Canadian Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Fuck Bryan Adams and his pock marks.
Oh man.
Just saying.
He doesn't like
cuts
your
like
beard.
A knife, man.
Anyways.
Not cuts like a knife.
No. Number 3 this week in 1995, Red Light Special by TLC. Number 2 this week in 1995, I actually really like this song, Freak Like Me by Adina Howard. And number 1 this week in 1995, This Is How We Do It. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan, number 1 this week in 1995. Top 10 albums this week in 1995. Number 10, Crazy Sexy Cool by TLC.
Classic album.
Number 9, one of my favorites, Astro Creep 2000, Songs of Love, Destruction, and Other Synthetic Delusions by who?
Oh, God. I know that title. Who is it? I'm drunk.
White Zombie, a.k.a. Rob Zombie, who broke off.
And that was before they became Zombie.
Rob Zombie, that was Thunder Kiss 65. That's my favorite Rob Zombie song, I think. I love that fucking song. Number 8 this week on the album charts in 1995. John Michael Montgomery by John Michael Montgomery. Number 7 this week in 1995. Hell Freezes Over by the Eagles.
Good album.
Number 6 this week in 1995. 2 by Boyz II Men. Number 5 this week in 1995. The Lion King soundtrack. Yeah. There you go.
Actually, good songs.
Number 4 this week in 1995 on the album charts, Be Against the World by Tupac. Number 3 this week on the album charts in 1995, Cracked Rear View by
Hootie and the Blowfish.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
Darius
Rucker made a great fucking move in going country, man. He's bigger as a solo act country than Hootie and the Blow. And Hootie and the Blowfish were pretty fucking popular.
Yeah, they were.
But Lou knows I don't like them. I just hate something
I'm an
about
average fan. If they were playing a concert, I wouldn't go see. Oh, you know who I got tickets to go see?
Who?
I just bought them the other day. Going Saturday night to see the Crystal Ship. Remember I sent you the...
You did. That's right.
Yeah.
They played everywhere, didn't they? These guys got to be old, man.
You know what? I think they rotate, like you get younger guys and they kind of pass it on, right?
Lou
knows. You got to be good to do it.
They played in my hometown a lot, Hillsdale, right? They used to play at that Cornerstone place.
They played around Boston too a lot in the 80s.
Yeah. They were the Doors cover band, is what I understand. Yeah.
Yes. There was a band in the 80s that was a Rolling Stones cover band, and they, as far as we were concerned, they were the best cover band. The Blushing Brides. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they did a really good job. Yeah. Okay, so number 2 this week in 1995, Throwing Copper by Live. That's a good album.
Good album.
Yeah. Good album. Very underrated band.
From York, Pennsylvania.
Yep. Very underrated band. It was hard to fucking steal their music off Napster. Because of their name. When you typed in Live, you got
everything.
So you got Peter Frampton.
It was fucking, they didn't mean it, but you got fucking all, you couldn't really steal their music off of Napster.
So you were stealing music, huh?
Dude, I got 10,000 songs, literally.
Hey.
Yeah, 10,000. So
you're the reason the record companies are fucking.
Well, I've told the story a bunch of times. Fucking when I went to a record store, like Coconuts or something in Pembroke Pines, Florida, to buy the Clash CD, fucking, what was it?
London Calling?
London Calling. And they wanted $24 for it.
Yeah.
I said, no, fuck that, Jack. No. This album has made its money 10 times already.
You got a good point, because in my hometown, we had 2 record stores. We had a Sam Goody and we had Music Merchant, John Schlapek. I could buy that Clash CD in Music Merchant for maybe $9.99. Sam Goody had the balls like you had with Coconuts. They overpriced everything. They're the reason that people were downloading music.
That's why I did it.
Yeah.
They were trying to capitalize on our generation, substituting our vinyl records for now CDs, because everybody buried their vinyl records, right?
Yeah.
Their albums.
Right.
So that was the whole marketing thing. They're going to replace their record collections with CDs, so we're going to make them pay. And they have disposable income. You know, they're older now. They all have jobs. And I was like, fuck that. And I had a couple of guys that I worked with in customs that were very kind of techie. They knew, they were like, when DSL first came out, and they understood it. And they had, so remember when you had a second hard drive on your computer?
Yeah.
You remember what it was called? It's called the Slave.
I call it the second hard drive.
It was called the Slave. Originally, it was called the Slave, and they were like, well, that has to be an external hard drive. But it was coined. The term was a slave in the techie world,
and it has another connotation, another definition as well. You know, the word. You know, that's been used in other musical applications too.
Yeah. So I got with them, and they told me about Napster, and I just fucking the first songs I downloaded were Stone Temple Pilots songs, right? And it was like one song would take, because I was on regular dial-up, right? One song literally would take like 40 minutes to fucking upload, right?
Now, did you have 2 telephone lines, or could you not receive calls?
I had one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
we
like
had cell phones then. I think they were young into the cell phone.
I had one line, and I had 2. The kids were little, and I'd be sitting there going, "Who's trying to call us now? Who's trying?"
So then I got DSL. I called and they hooked it up, and that shit was like.
Oh God, wasn't that amazing when you first got it?
Attacked Napster. I had one of those fucking freezer bags that you put your lunch in, full. Because then I handed my whole tower over to this guy at work, and I didn't know how to take all that shit off, and he took it and put it all in MP3s, and each CD had like, I don't know, 70 MP3s on it, and I had a bag full of them, and I would bring it back to him, say, here's more, get more songs off, and I had that thing full, and I alphabetized them the whole night, but I just didn't understand that you couldn't just put it in your fucking car and play them. So, but I figured out eventually you could do it on the computer. But yeah, I got 10,000 fucking songs off of Napster for free.
But the problem is MP3s don't sound as good as the CD. They don't sound as good.
Did you know that original MP3 technology, the guys that created that algorithm, used Suzanne Vega's voice from Tom's Diner?
Yes,
I did for compression levels and things.
I did an early episode.
You did. I think I remember you saying something about that.
I did an early episode on technology and music, which actually we might revisit that. That might be an interesting, like just a segment.
I think so.
So let's talk about that next week.
As someone that was in audio mastering, I would like to touch on it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting topic. I think I touched on it, and I was a novice. I was just doing research on it, and I found a lot of interesting, facts about that I never knew, but I learned it. But why don't we do that next week? We'll talk about technology and music.
Having been in quite a few studios, I have a perspective.
I'd love to hear what you guys have. I'll just sit back and kind of, just kind of lead the way, and we'll figure. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot. So,
and then Scott will get a thunderstorm and fade out, and it'll be you and me, Lou.
No, I won't anymore. We got fucking my wife got Starlink.
What's that?
You know what Starlink is?
No,
I've heard of it.
Starlink is SpaceX. It's Elon Musk's.
Elon Musk.
Fucking, it's his satellites, right? And and you buy a satellite dish. It's like literally.
Okay, so if I make an Elon Musk joke, you're fucked.
I like Elon Musk, so you don't want to do that. Me and my wife are big Elon Musk fans.
Creepy little dwarf Elon Musk
fans.
Weird looking little fella.
Dude continuously fucking cracks me up. Just has the sense of humor. He could sit in with us and just fucking laugh all night. And he's the richest guy in the world. That's what makes him so fucking cool.
Bring him on.
And I won't get into the political aspect.
Go ahead. Get him on, Scott. Come on. Get him on.
I if he's listening. But so
might call in like a Go-Go's member did.
Starlink, I get the video. Starlink is it's fucking literally plug and play. So you get a router, right? It comes with the router. You plug it into the router. You plug the router into the wall. You take the wire. You plug it in. And the satellite dish isn't like a direct TV.
Yeah,
it's literally like you would. I don't know. Probably what would this be? 2 feet, maybe 2 feet by 2.5 feet by 2 feet, right?
Yeah.
And you plug it up underneath it, and you put it on a mount, and you download the app, and it fucking walks you through it like it's idiot.
Is that how you're doing your whole internet and everything?
So my wife has it on, it's Wi-Fi and internet, right? So we have, it comes with our association. So I have fiber optics, which is why, unless the power goes out, I won't drop my feed anymore. But with SpaceX, with the Starlink, I got Wi-Fi that's blazing fast. Like I sent the numbers to my stepson. He was like, that's fucking crazy. He didn't say fucking. He goes, those are crazy numbers. So we're big Elon Musk fans. I think
until everyone in Boca Raton decides to sign up for it.
No, let them. I mean, because there's plenty of what it does is through the night, it searches for the satellites. It moves on its own.
Yeah.
Right. And you can, there's all sorts of ways to fucking check it out and on the app. It's brilliant. It's 1, 2, 3. Anybody can do it, but it's like,
we're headed towards that with cell phones. I mean, why do we have to depend on cell towers? Like, oh, I live in a town that doesn't have cell towers because people don't like cell towers. Let's do it with the satellites,
Yeah, big companies, big tech. Yeah, they want that shit.
Well, in my town, we don't like cell towers. There were people that didn't like power lines. Look down your street. Look at the power. There were people in 1920 that said, I don't want power lines.
Oh, you don't see those in Boca, buddy. Oh, no,
you got them underground.
Oh, where I live, West Boca, it's all underground, but you don't see that
it's
shit.
the Boca people.
That's right.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Right.
Okay.
Now, where I lived, they needed more cell towers. The first where I lived before I moved here, the first year I had no cell service up there. I had internet. Yeah.
I had said before the show, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
It was before I forget. Before you came on, I was telling Mark, said, Rage Against the Cafe, right? The only way we'll get together is because we were talking how we're going to have to send stuff to each other and someone's going to put it together. But I did say, if we get together one weekend, I got 3 spare bedrooms, right, in this house.
Okay.
If you guys come down, we can fucking jam in the fucking, go rent some equipment or Sam Goodies or Guitar Center or whatever. And we just fucking hang here, fucking the pool, barbecue. I got the fucking putting green out there. I got a big fucking pool.
I'm an avid swimmer.
Yeah, big pool. And we'll just fucking chill down here and throw some songs together.
That'd be fun.
I got a secret for you guys.
If Mark's wife lets him.
I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm the guy that won't go in the pool without taking off his shirt because he's kind of heavy.
I can't put. I got fucking skin cancer on my back, so I have a tattoo of a rhino.
Yeah,
and right at the tip of the fucking horn, it's amazing. It looks like he looks like Rudolph now. Because I had fucking not melanoma. I had CASA or whatever it is. They had to cut a fucking piece out. And then what do you call it when the scar fucking gets 3D? I forget what it's called. There's a term
I got that on my hip because from my bar in my leg. That's a good
so
story if you ever want to hear.
I have to wear a shirt in the sun. I can't do it anymore.
I had some taken off my back 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I have this thing on my Mark. It's a thing on my head. It's apparently an age spot, so I went to get it looked at.
Okay, wait a minute. My buddy Dean Farron. My wife wants to know why you say the F word so much.
My wife wanted to know the same thing.
Dean, I'm sorry. I don't even know I'm fucking saying it.
Why do I drink wine so much?
Sometimes I don't know I'm saying it, but I'll if it's offensive, well, I don't know what to say.
It just comes out.
It just comes out.
It's
always with passion.
I think Mark passed out.
It's always right.
No, I'm putting my wine back in my cooler bag. Come on, Lou.
Let's get through it. My mic keeps now I can't say the F-bomb. So now I'm conscious of it. Thanks, Dean Farron's wife. Now I can't be me. I'm being censored.
What was that movie? Say Fargaden. You Fargaden bastardage.
That was Johnny Dangerously. You fudding icehole bastages.
Your testicles and you.
Yeah. Okay, number 1 album this week in 1995. The soundtrack for Friday. All right. Yeah, the movie Friday.
You just said that's the funniest comedy
Dude. The 3 of them are the funniest trilogy.
I've not seen them. You were saying.
They're the funniest fucking trilogy movies I've ever seen.
It's the best stoner movie I've ever seen. It beats Cheech and Chong, any of their movies.
Dude.
Really? And it's just the best. Wow. Yeah.
You got to watch them they're fucking hilarious. The 3 funniest comedy movies I've ever seen as a trilogy. Okay. The 3rd one didn't get enough credit.
Yeah.
With Cat Williams, dude, shit's fucking off the hook funny.
Watch it one day, Lou, when you relax. Don't watch it just when you hey, I'm relaxed. I want to watch a movie.
Yeah.
And me, I'll have a glass of wine or a beer or something or a vodka, and you got to get a little bit of an altered state.
I see what you're suggesting here.
Yeah. Yeah. But
the father, I forget his name, Witherspoon. He
with
passed
the spray
away.
in the bathroom.
Don't nobody go in there. 45 minutes.
But he has his son come in to talk to him while he's taking a shit.
I smelled your shit for 18 years. You can smell mine for 18 seconds.
Oh God.
Anyways, all right. This day in music.
Yay!
On this day in 2022, Greek composer Vangelis, who was known for his celebrated film themes of Chariots of Fire and Blade Runner. Blade Runner was a really good
He did Blade Runner?
Yeah. Died at the age of 79. Vangelis first tasted the fame as a keyboardist in the band Aphrodite's Child with singer Demis Roussos in the late 60s. On this day in 2016, Alanis Morissette sued her former manager for fraud, saying she was robbed of almost $5 million by her former business manager. In papers filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court, the singer claimed Jonathan Schwartz transferred money to his own accounts without permission. How many times has that happened through music history? Yeah. Jesus. Watch your money, people.
Watch your money.
Schwartz said the transfers were made to fund an investment in a marijuana growing business for the singer and to avoid extra trips to the bank because Morissette spends a lot of cash. It's her money. Hello.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Not yet.
I agree.
On this day in 2013, French electronic duo Daft Punk, which is they have a brilliant, what do you call it? Gimmick. They wear the helmets. Nobody knows who they are.
Right. I think there's someone.
It could be anybody.
What do you think? I think it's someone we know.
Huh. Nah, I think that they found that works, and they could bring anybody. Say, go be Daft Punk at this appearance. I don't want to go today.
You know who Daft Punk's going to be? It's going to be Dave Grohl and Bono. I'm telling you. Or it's the Gallagher brothers. It's the Gallagher brothers.
It's the Gallagher brothers.
Mark's drinking a little bit of that fucking white tail, whatever is
Australian
yellow tail. Come on, Scott.
I don't drink, so I don't know.
Whoa.
Let me see. The French electronic duo Daft Punk released their fourth album, Random Access Memories. It would debut at number 1 on both the U.S. and UK charts and go to win 5 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year.
Wow.
It was a sad, very, very sad day. I don't care who you are, on this day in 2012. I don't care what genre of music that you grew up listening to. Donna Summer, the 1970s pop singer known as the Queen of Disco, died of lung cancer.
Yeah.
An illness she believes she contracted from inhaling toxic particles released after September 11th terrorist attack in New York. She won 5 Grammys, 6 American Music Awards, and had 3 multi-platinum albums. I think 2 of them were in a row, including hits Hot Stuff, right. Love to Love You, and Baby, and I Feel Love.
She had a big hit. Her last big hit was in the late 80s or early 90s, right? What was the name of that song?
It was I forget.
Great song.
Yeah.
Great, really good song.
Yeah. Other hits on the radio. That was her, right?
Yep.
What was the first big hit, though? When the first
wasn't it Love to Love You, Baby?
She died within the
first recorded orgasm on the
record. Yeah, hot stuff, man.
Yeah. On this day in 2003, one of my favorite, arguably could be my favorite frontmen, singer with Stone Temple Pilots, Scott Weiland, was arrested on suspicion of drug possession after being stopped during a routine traffic search in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He was released on $10,000 bail. It was a sad day. For me, I don't know if Mark knows who this is, but Lou, I'm pretty sure you know who this is. On this day in 1996, U.S. blues guitarist Johnny Guitar Watson died of a heart attack while on tour in Yokohama, Japan. Yep. You know who he is, Mark?
Yep.
All right.
And just like Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson dying on the road. Johnny Winter died on the road. You're going to see Dylan and some people just touring musicians.
Johnny Guitar Watson was a unique dude, man.
Yeah. But he had some sound. He had some hits, didn't he? Have a few.
Yeah. Ain't that a bitch? And what was it? Superman Lover. Snoop Dogg sampled Superman Lover. He had some funk hits.
Yeah.
He was in the funk world. He was well respected.
Yes.
Well respected, and a great guitar player. You don't give yourself guitar as your middle name if you don't know how to play that fucking guitar.
Really?
Right? Yeah. According to eyewitness reports, he collapsed mid-guitar solo. What a way to go.
Yeah.
His last words were, Jesus, ain't that a bitch?
Oh.
And that's the name of one of his songs.
So he made it to the tagline of the chorus.
Dig a ditch, ain't that a bitch?
Damn.
His ferocious space guitar single of 1954 pioneered guitar feedback and reverb. I always say I like reverb. I love reverb on a guitar.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like reverb in general.
Johnny Guitar Watson, rest in peace. On this day in 1990, Nirvana played the last date of a North American tour at the Zoo in Boise. Boise, Idaho. At the Zoo in Boise, Idaho. This was Chad Channing's final gig with the band. Drummer Dave Grohl replaced him in September of that year. After his band Scream had split up. Well, they talk about stepping in shit. It smells like roses.
Yep.
Yeah.
On this day in 1987, I remember this. Tom Petty's house was destroyed by a fire in Los Angeles. Estimated cost of loss was $800,000.
It was Stan Lynch burned it down.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that.
Never piss off a drummer.
Yeah.
You got that right.
On this day in 1986, Spitting Image started a 3-week run at number 1 in the UK single charts with the Chicken Song. I don't know why I kept that one in there.
Wow.
On this day and night, usually I edit some of these like useless.
I think your highlighter wasn't working.
I must have went right by that one. Yeah.
How's the chicken song go?
I don't know. Spinning Image had become the must-see Sunday night UK TV show, which mocked politicians and public figures. So evidently it was a...
Oh, I think that's the Land of Confusion. The video from Genesis
the guys
used
that do
guy.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
The creepy.
Does the Ronald Reagan sweating and the...
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. There you go. Good call, Mark. Good call.
Did you know?
On this day in 1986, Whitney Houston started a 3-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Greatest Love of All, singer's third U.S. number 1 hit. On this day in 1975, Elton John made RIAA history when he was awarded a gold record based solely on pre-sales ahead of his 9th album, not even his best album, maybe not even his third, but maybe his third best album, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. The album debuted at number 1 in the U.S. and spent 7 weeks at the top spot. Wasn't a bad album.
It was a good album. You one time asked what our favorite Elton John songs were. So Writing is one of my top 5.
Right.
But from that album, though.
I think that's right. That's right.
It was a good album. Good album.
On this day in 1975, Led Zeppelin played the first of 5 sold-out nights to 17,000 fans at Earl's Court Arena in London, England.
Oh, I have that bootleg.
The set included Rock and Roll, The Song Remains the Same, The Rain Song, Cashman, No Quarter, Going to California, Dazed and Confused, Stairway to Heaven, Whole Lot of Love, and Black Dog. Damn.
Great set.
Tickets were $1.70 to $4.25.
What the hell? They have some balls to charge that money.
You, man.
Oh my God. $4?
Poor working people.
I got tickets. I have a ticket every June. I pull it up. Fucking, we were in the floor seats for U2. It's $12.50.
Yeah, the first time I saw U2 at Radio City, the tickets were $8. It was a rehearsal gig for the Unforgettable Fire tour.
Nice.
Yeah. My ex got me a copy of a ticket from The Last Waltz. It was actually a stub. And then it was just like, holy shit, you better give me dinner with this and an opera set. But now you're just like, it's like going to the friggin' movies. Maybe cheaper.
On this day in 1971, Dawn were at number 1 at the UK single charts with Knock 3 Times, the group's first of 2 UK number 1s. Singer Tony Orlando had retired from singing when he was persuaded to front Dawn for studio recordings.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then they went on to have the Tony Orlando and Dawn, and they made...
In the TV show.
They had their little run. On this day in 1969, it was reported that for the first time ever, album sales had overtaken single sales in the UK, which I'm sure kind of coincided maybe with the United States. 49,184,000 albums were produced during 1968 compared to 49,161,000 singles.
What year was that?
68.
1969.
So were they starting to, because a lot of the big hit singles weren't on the albums. You know, were they putting the singles on the albums?
I don't know.
Like the Beatles. Yeah. They had a few big singles. Yeah.
On this day in 1967, working at the Capitol Records studio, the Capitol Recording Studio in Hollywood, Glen Campbell recorded Gentle on My Mind, a song written by John Hartford, Glen Campbell, who's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, he should be.
Not even as a member of the Wrecking Crew?
Nope.
Damn.
Nope. This is what I mean, dude. Identity politics is taking over the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't care what they say. These guys need to just come in one fucking class. Let's get it out of the way.
I think Mark had a good point, though. I mean, they should just do it. You said early on they didn't want to blow their load, so to speak, and nominate all these people. Well, have a big backlog. You know, just get in everybody that really deserves to be in.
Have one huge ceremony.
Get it over with.
Yeah, that would be the biggest ratings of all time for.
And they could do like a 10-part HBO special on the inductions.
A song written by Gentle on My Mind is a song written by John Hartford and arranged by Leon Russell.
Wow.
The song went on to win 4 Grammy Awards the following year and became the theme to the television variety show The Glen Campbell Good Time Hour between 1969 and 1972.
I'm Glen Campbell.
But he's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now that's a long run for a fucking variety show.
Yeah. How long did
69
Johnny
to
Cash?
72.
How long did Johnny Cash go for?
I don't know if he went that long.
Yeah.
Couple years maybe.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he was doing too many pills. He couldn't do
Probably.
the show.
On the Smothers Brothers.
Yeah. On this day in 1966, during a UK tour, Bob Dylan appeared at the Free Trade Hall in Manchester. This was the concert where a member of the audience shouted out, "Judas!" At Dylan, unhappy with the singer's move from acoustic to rock. Dylan replied with, "You're a liar." What? You're a liar.
Did you ever see Don't Look
You're
Back?
a liar.
Scott? Did you ever see that movie Don't Look Back?
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta see it because there's that guy. They interview a guy on the street in London. He's like, I think that Bob should just be shot. Yeah, he should be shot for going electric. Like they
passionate
were
fans.
so pissed. That was folky.
Well, that's like I said, Ian Asbury from the Cult last week. Dude walked up and punched him right in the face.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like that he changed, from the punk to the psychedelic rock kind of sound. And he said, "Well, I look at it like I must have done something right."
I read when with the Dylan band, when Levon Helm was it was the Hawks. That was before they were the band. That was Dylan's electric band. So Levon quit to be replaced by Mickey Jones. Whatever. Anyway, Levon said he spent a lot of time just flipping people off the side of the stage because they were booing him all the time.
Yeah.
So between beats, he's like, "Fuck you. I'm sorry." To whoever's wife that was.
Don't worry about it. On this day, in 1963, the first Monterey Folk Festival took place over 3 days in Monterey, California. The lineup included Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and a young Jerry Garcia who performed with.
I can't. I'm a deadhead, and I don't remember.
Smitty's.
Yeah,
the Wildwood Boys.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no, that's not who I was thinking of.
The Wildwood Boys. All right, born on this day in 1984. I'll skip him. Skip that one. Okay, no, this everyone knows it. Born on this day in 1980. Josh Homme from the Queens of the Stone Age.
An underrated band.
And he formed Eagles of Death Metal in 1998.
He's a guy.
They still tour, don't they?
Yeah.
He also formed Them Crooked Vultures with Dave Grohl and John Paul Jones. I remember that. That was like a quick get together thing.
Yeah.
Let me see.
The Eagles of Death Metal were in that theater when that mass shooting took place.
Yeah. He released Post Pop Depression, an album with Iggy Pop. Let's see. Born on this day in 1968, Dave Abruzzi. Fucking drummer for Pearl Jam.
Abruzzi.
Yeah, Abruzzi. ZZ.
Good to have
ZZ Top. From 1991 to 1994. In 97, he rehearsed with Axl Rose during the making of Guns N' Roses' 2008 album, Chinese Democracy. However, none of the material from the sessions ended up on the album. I was going to say, Pearl Jam and drummers, not really, they come and go. They've come and Jack would know more about all that, but I don't know. Anyways, born on this day in 1965, Trent Reznor, American singer, songwriter, and all-around asshole. Wait a minute. Look at this.
He's back.
The AI, Perry Dedovich, I hear the Rage Against Cafe is going to be creating some music, and they are. Yes, they are.
Right. By the way, look at his picture. He's not only an AI, he's an AI up in space.
He's in space.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. He's in a fucking 1968 fucking moon landing fucking space outfit, I think.
How?
Yeah.
It's like Apollo 13.
Yeah.
He's like Jim Lovell up there.
Born on this day in I don't care. Oh yeah, born on this day in 1963. I think Mark might like this. Page Samuel McConnell. You know who that is?
Jimmy Page.
No, pianist, organist, keyboardist from American rock band Fish. You like that fucking music?
No, right? Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I love the Grateful Dead. I find Fish to be the most boring band.
Yeah, well, they're musical improvisationists.
Be more
extended
Pacific. Come
jams
on.
and blending of genres. In other words, they're fucking lazy. They just get up there, all right,
great.
let's play. They don't even have sets. They just go up and just play.
They're great musicians. They really are. But you know what? If you're going to jam, don't just jam endlessly on one theme. You know, have a song.
I got you.
At least the Dead had some good singles. You know,
says you. Anyways, born on this day in 1961, Enya Onanian. She's from the fucking Irish band, family band Clonard.
She was? I didn't know that.
She's the daughter, yeah.
I didn't know.
Who had the number 5 UK single with Harry's Game from the what's the name of the movie? The Crying Game. No, Harry's Game was the name of the movie. I mean, Enya had the solo 1988 UK and number 1 single, Orinoco Flow.
Yes, that was a big song.
Flow. Yeah, it is a good song. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Anyways, sail away. Born on this day in 1959, Paul Di'Anno.
Oh yeah,
I knew Mark would know that.
Now he is a fuck up if you've ever seen one.
Paul Di'Anno vocals, the first vocalist to record with heavy metal band Iron Maiden. From 78
now
to 81.
in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair because he's just the epitome of unhealthy.
Di'Anno has issued numerous albums over the years as both a solo artist and as a member of such bands as Gog Magog, Di'Anno Battlezone, Praying Mantis, Killers, and Rockefellers.
And he, for a long time, he couldn't come to the U.S. He had his visa revoked for just being such a asshole.
Yeah.
Was he like a piss artist kind of thing, or was
he was on the first two Iron Maiden albums. He's kind of like a punky singer.
Born on this day in 1953, George Johnson from the American funk, Motown, and R&B band Brothers Johnson.
Yeah.
They achieved their greatest success from the mid-1970s to early 80s with 3 singles topping the R&B charts, I'll Be Good to You, Strawberry Letter 23,
yes,
and Stomp.
Yes.
All those songs.
Great songs.
Born on this day in 1948, Bill Bruford, English drummer.
Extraordinaire.
Yeah, he was the original drummer for the progressive rock group Yes. So look at that. We covered Iron Maiden for Mark, and we covered fucking Yes for Lou.
Oh, Yes is for me. I'm the prog guy.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it's
nothing for Lou tonight. Nothing
for me tonight. Not even a Michael McDonald quote.
Born on this day in 1942, Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal, born on this day in 1942.
Underrated musician.
I got to see him play. He was great.
Yep. U.S. multi-instrumentalist, composer of film soundtracks. In the early 60s, he formed the Rising Suns with Ry Cooder and one of the first interracial bands of the period. Mahal had worked with Howlin' Wolf, Buddy Guy, Lightning Hopkins, Garth Hudson, and Levon Helm of the band, and Muddy Waters. Yeah. And we'll go out with this bit of obscurity. Born on this day in 1941, Malcolm Hale. Lou?
Malcolm Hale, I don't know.
From the American 1960s sunshine pop band Spanky and Our Gang.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Stump the Lou worked.
Yeah. That was really obscure, by the way.
I said, we'll end it on an obscure note. They had the 1967 U.S. number 9 single, Sunday Will Never Be the Same Again.
Did you know?
There you go.
In 1982, I worked in a bank in Emerson, New Jersey, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that wrote that song was one of our customers.
Wow.
There you go.
He was cashing his royalty checks.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hale died on October 31st, 1968 of carbon monoxide poisoning due to a faulty heater.
Damn.
So they had the number 9 single in 1967. He died a year later.
Wow.
And that's the show, gentlemen. We can't fucking do a 90-minute show. It is impossible.
I feel like we're cheating ourselves.
If we want to do a 90-minute show next week, I'll start from the top 10 singles. By the time we're done, it'll be 90 minutes.
Next week, I'm going to take Thursday off of work. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah,
there you go.
Do that.
We'll have
but the problem is my son is off Mondays and Tuesdays. I like to spend time with him. So that's what,
Hey, listen, we all got priorities. And Lou's priority is this podcast, bastard.
Absolutely.
That's right. Follow Lou's lead.
Not easy being a performing flea.
Look, I'm in trouble with you, Scott. I'm in trouble with Perry. I'm just getting in trouble with everybody.
That's right, buddy. Yeah. Just don't be Jack.
I could never be as good as Jack.
Jack sounded like fucking. He sounded horrible today.
Yeah, I wish he was on.
Lou, he got hay fever. He got a bad, he said the pollen up in New Hampshire. He had his car washed, and he said literally 3 hours later it was green again.
Yeah, I hear you.
So
that sucks. I mean, he can't talk.
No, he was all ready to come on too. So
okay, cool.
All right, gentlemen, listen.
What about next week? Will he be here next week?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
I miss sitting back and watching you guys. You guys are amazing together. And I can't wait to see it again.
Don't encourage that fucking guy.
I want to see some guitar playing.
No, we're not going to see that.
He was full of beans. He was full of beans last time, man.
He was all fired up.
Yeah,
he was all fired up. So, well, gentlemen, as usual, thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge. Scott. Thank you for your inputs, your humor. I appreciate everything you guys bring to this podcast. It always makes it fun. And again, you guys are just you're just hired.
Or we're just high. Yeah, one or the other.
You're hired. Lou, you got to watch the beginning of the intro and all. Listen to the intro and this is no longer a what was I calling it? A residency. You guys you got the job.
Oh, we're in now. We're in.
You're in.
Say that after 4 wines. A residency.
And everybody that watched, thank you for watching. If you liked it, shared it. If you didn't, well, thanks for listening this long. As I always say, you are the engine that runs this machine. Without you, it would just be me talking to these two guys, which, well, that's always fun too. So I can't lose either way. And doing this podcast for you, the people, the listeners, the viewers, to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. And thank you again. And gentlemen, I'll be talking to you this week, and we will all see each other next Wednesday night, 7 foot. Well, Lou will be on at 8.
I start everything a half hour in advance.
Fashionably late, Lou.
See that last name up top? That AI thing. He's the one that's doing it.
I'm going to end it right here. What Mark said before the show. Lou's not on. He's like a girl, so we'll start calling him Louise.
No, you said Louise. I